Welcome to the Emerging Professional at the Coffee Conversation Show, powered by the Emerging India Forum TIF and a tech partner, Prime Infotech Solution. Theme is redefining leadership in the bookkeeping and taxation world. We have with us a guest speaker, Siddhartha Havelia, a visionary leader, co-founder, and CEO of Mercurius Advisory Services. With over 20 years of experience in top global firms like PwC, Grant Thornton, American Express, Siddharth has built a reputation as a client-focused, team-driven leader who believes in leading from the back. From his inspiring mentorship to his passion for meditation and travel, Siddharth shares his professional journey, leadership insights, and personal philosophies that have shaped his approach to business and life. So welcome, Siddharth, to today's coffee conversation.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Amir. It's a pleasure indeed for me to be here.
So let me explain you. There are 3 rounds. First 2 rounds you must be aware of. You have checked the in podcast or the coffee show. That is professional, personal, but there is surprise, the rapid fire round, for which you have to be witty, fun, and quick, and then you get your gift to win,
Got it.
which will be autographed, but you have to win it. I know
Definitely.
you can do it. So, friends, I'm Lion Amir Virani, host at Coffee Conversation, legal tech evangelist at Prime Infotech Solution. We help law firms, corporate legal, startup, and SMEs with world-class technology solutions, software licensing, and tech training solutions. So, my first question for you, Siddhartha. Can you walk us through your journey from PwC Grant Thornton days to co-founding Mercurius? And we like to know the story behind naming of Mercurius.
So, when I was pursuing CA, one day my dad asked me कि CA करने के बाद 20,000 का आदमी हो जाएगा क्या? Well, at that point in time, I did not have an answer to his question because very few people used to earn that much. I mean, especially people who used to work in Big Four accounting firm or industry with good experience and all. So after graduating, I started working in a small CA firm and primarily used to work with small and scattered businesses in places like Chandni Chowk. So when I moved to Grant Thornton, I mean, it was altogether a new world for me. I mean, it was like the first time that I got to work with corporate clients and that too in a truly professional network. So when I cleared my CA, I mean, I had offers from all the big four accounting firms. And I mean, I chose like PwC, which became like another exciting chapter in my journey. So you see, I mean, until American Express, I was always on the side that used to audit the clients. And in American Express, it was actually me who was getting audited. So I would say, I mean, it was a funny shift, but honestly, I enjoyed it. I mean, rather, I would say I kind of enjoyed it more. But deep inside me, I knew that I wanted to build up something of my own. So when I saw how the small businesses are struggling for quality CA services at low cost, that's how the idea came in our mind. And I co-founded Mercurius along with another friend of mine. Well, today we are a team of 400 professionals, and we are assisting our clients in accounting, bookkeeping, and tax filings across the globe. I mean, we are servicing clients across like more than 50 countries as of today. So the idea behind this name was, I mean, when we were actually in the process of setting up the company, we were thinking about what name should we give, what name should we give. So, I mean, both me and Ankit, we used our brains and we were not able to figure out our name. So we approached my fiance or my would-be wife at that point in time, and we asked her, why don't you give us some suggestion? So she Googled it out and she said that let's keep it behind the name of God of Trade and Commerce. And that's how, I mean, we started with Mercurius.
That's beautiful.
So that's how, I
It's a
mean, in
Greek
short, that's how we started.
Greek god name,
Yeah, it's a
Mercurius.
Greek god's name.
Wow. So your wife is into Greek philosophy.
I don't know what all she is into. I mean, she's into art. She's a corporate lawyer. She's into art. She's
Hmm,
almost into anything and everything, yoga, meditation. I mean,
that's interesting.
for me, she is like always a constant motivator.
That's interesting. So let's dive deep. Uh, what challenges do you face when managing clients in different regions like US and UK, and how do you adapt your approach?
So, well, that's like an interesting question. I mean, managing clients in different region comes with its own challenges. I mean, the first and foremost is going to be related to the time zone differences. I mean, we have clients in US, we have clients in Australia, Singapore, Canada, and there's no one size fit all working hours. So this is primarily the reason that we operate 24 by 7, wherein we give flexibility to our people to work at their convenience and ensure the seamless support to our clients. Next, I would say is adapting to the different business cultures. So, I mean, clients from US, they prefer direct and to the point conversation. So we have to, I mean, adapt our approach when we are dealing with them. I mean, we cannot just answer anything in a haywire manner. Thirdly, I would say, I mean, is the different accounting and tax laws. I mean, they vary across the countries. And for that reason, we have experts in Mercurius who ensure that our services are not just good, but they're also accurate for each country. So overall, I mean, I would say it's challenging, but it's really exciting.
Wow. So let's go to the next question. As technology is very important for bookkeeping and taxation. So, how have you come up with the technology systems to manage various taxation across? Because each country has their own taxation systems, and you have to see, you have got a good team, but technology is also very critical. So, how did you go ahead with your IT team to have technology set up?
So, there are two parts to your question. Let me address like how did we go about technology, and then I'm going to come about the different softwares or the IT team, how it is assisting us, right? So, I mean, I would say when COVID happened, we had to completely rethink the way that we used to work. And that's when we went fully paperless. So when I think of that decision in retrospect, I would say, I mean, it is the best decision that we have ever made. Being in the outsourcing space and, I mean, servicing clients across different geographies, we will say that technology is not optional for us. I mean, it is our survival. So, I mean, especially during COVID, when we were thinking that, I mean, people may not be able to come to office and all, we had to go like 100% remote. So we had to create like a complete ecosystem with VPNs, backup storage, control accesses, security measures, just to ensure that our people are able to work and be able to service our clients seamlessly. So, I mean, I still remember that when I was in my early CA days, we used to get the handwritten ledgers. I mean, we commonly call them bahi khate. So, I mean, even during my childhood, I've seen my parents or the accountant who used to come to our shop. He used to write everything with paper and pen at that point in time. And now, I mean, see the way the world has evolved. Everything is like cloud-based, digital, automated. But for us, the core idea remains the same. I mean, it's like staying ahead and adapting ourselves to the ever-changing environment. So, I mean, jumping on to like the second part of the question, you see, I mean, we have like CPAs, we have accountants from all the different countries whose job is not only to service to the clients, but find out about what are the latest offerings which are there in each country. So, I mean, which software is going to be good. We do our own test to see, which software is suitable for which country. And then accordingly, we license those softwares and we have it installed so that our teams are always equipped with latest softwares when we are providing services to our clients. Again, it's like we have to be on top of each country, whether it is US, UK, Australia, Singapore, Canada, EU, and all those things. So, and when we are servicing clients across the regions, we cannot work on a piece of paper and pen or over the emails. It has to be data driven, it has to be software driven, and it has to be supported by technology.
Yeah, very true. So that was the technology part. Now let's come to your leadership part. As someone with vast experience across multinational firms and startups, what are the most valuable lessons you have learned in leadership?
That's a good question. So, over the years, I've realized that leadership isn't just about titles. It's about how you show yourself up every single day. If I have to sum up the most important lessons for leadership, the first and foremost is going to be quality over shortcuts. I think cutting corners always catches up. The next would be respect other people's time. Whenever someone is giving you your time, or if you're giving your time to someone, be mindful of it. Make it count, whether it's a client, it's an employee, or even your support staff. Lastly, I would say is integrity, because it's integrity that builds credibility, which in turn builds businesses. So for me, these are like the three most important leadership lessons which I have learned over the period of time.
Wow. For my next question, what role does mentorship play in your leadership style, and how do you actively engage with your team to foster growth?
Uh, Mentorship for me is like a two-way street. I guide my team, but I also make it a point that I learn from them every single day. So for me, it's just like, instead of just solving problems for them, I ask them to think independently. By asking them random questions like, what do you think? How will you be approaching this kind of a situation? So this approach of mine really helps them develop that confidence rather than just being like solely dependent on me. At the same point in time, I also try to give them enough exposure by encouraging them to lead the projects and by nudging them to share different ideas. Because if you ask me, I personally believe that growth for any person happens when that person feels supported, challenged, and also valued. And so far, this approach is like really working well for us.
Very good. That was about mentorship, but how about other areas of skill development, knowledge development? What Mercurius does in those areas?
So, keeping up to date is something which is like a full-time job. At Mercurius, I try to keep myself up to date in terms of all the guidelines or the IRS regulations or other things that is being released by the different competent authorities at all point in time. I ensure that me and my team stays ahead in terms of whatever the new regulations comes up. Secondly, I would say, we are working with the accountants from all the different countries on a real-time basis. So it kind of helps us providing insights into the ever-changing laws and regulations. So I would say at Mercurius, we give special emphasis to ensuring that our people are fully equipped by making them attend these seminars, webinars, trainings, among lot of other things. So I would say, staying ahead and knowing the laws is something that we give special emphasis upon. to ensure that the work which our team delivers is a quality output and is also accurate, as I mentioned earlier.
Wow. So now let's go to your next role, being a speaker. You have spoken at prestigious events like the World Law Alliance 2023 in Dubai and other speaking assignments. So how do you prepare for such keynote speaking engagements?
So speaking on big stages, it didn't come naturally to me, but I have always been a strong believer that the real growth of a person happens when he actually steps out of his comfort zone. And for me, I would say the more I have stepped myself up, the more confident I have become. Usually, my preparation is like really simple. I read, I learn, and I stay curious. It's like picking up insights from all the experiences and conversations that I have. So every time I get on the stage or I present myself, the speech isn't about me, but it's about what the audience takes away from it. My only goal is to share something valuable that kind of sparks a new thinking or an action from them. And if you ask me how I prepare, the truth is, it really never starts or stops. It is a continuous process of learning and sharing.
Wow, beautiful. So, Siddharth, given your extensive network across industries, how do you maintain strong professional relationships over the years, and why maintaining relationships in your industry is very important?
It's a beautiful thing. So, relationships, whether you talk about personal or professional, they need effort.
Yeah.
You just can't connect once and expect that the bond is going to last forever. I believe more in investing into relationships rather than just maintaining them. And that is the reason that I have made it a point that I check with the top contributors, people who play a significant role in our firm's journey. So it's like giving them a quick call or a casual meetup or even a thoughtful message. I think it really adds up on. The same principle also applies when I'm dealing with the clients. I allocate my time to nurture those relationships because if you don't prioritize them, they fade away. So this reminds me, I read it somewhere that strong relationships don't happen by accident. They happen when you genuinely care, stay in touch, and make that extra effort. And for me, I would say, that's very much true.
Beautiful. So my last question will be, what advice would you give to young professionals entering the world of bookkeeping and taxation, dealing with international clients?
So, I would say, two or three things for people to remember. Number one, today is a world of globalization. It's not only India. So, there are courses which are available which can educate you not only about India, but all the different countries. So, first and foremost, you need to select, which country you want to offer these services for. Number two, I would say, make sure that you are fully competent and you put in that time to learn about what the client expects from their in those territories? How do you present yourself? What are the laws surrounding those? And then, you can easily jump into the market. It's also very important to know about the business culture, as I said earlier. So today, being into India, not necessarily that you have to service only the Indian clients. You can service anybody and everybody across the globe. Like I said, we started in 2008. The first time that we entered into the bookkeeping and tax domain for international clients was in 2014. So we started with one country at a time. We understood like one service, then we attached the second service, then the third service, then the fourth service. So it's like continuously you have to train yourself, continuously you have to educate yourself, and then only you can service your clients.
Beautiful advice. So all those young professionals This episode is about how you've gone through the professional journey, share many things. Now, let's go and understand Siddharth as a person. Tell us about your family and your formative years.
I would say family is family for me. It has always been like super important to me. But in the early years of my career, I'll be honest, I did not give them as much time as I should have. I think when you're building up something, you get like so occupied in work that everything else takes a back seat. In fact, when my first son was born, I was always working, and the early years flew by without us spending like much time together. But by the time my second one arrived, I realized the importance of being in the present. And then I would say, COVID was like a wake-up call for me. So it actually toned me down. So if I talk about my college days, even then I wasn't a carefree type. While, all my friends, they were out there having fun. I was being called a nerd. But you know what? I would say that no regrets. I rather say that it shaped up 100% who I am today.
Beautiful. So, Siddharth, how do you unwind after a busy day at work? Any particular activities or rituals you enjoy?
So after a long day at work, the first thing that I do after going home is to sit with my parents. It's just like a quick catch up in terms of how their day went and my day went. It may sound like a small thing, but over the years, I've realized that it actually makes a big difference for them and for me as well. Then, of course, spending time with my kids and my wife, nothing can beat that. They have this special way of making me forget like all the stress that I may be carrying throughout the day. Apart from this, whenever I get some time, I prefer reading any book. It can be a spiritual book, it can be a business book or something like that. So it really helps me find those small moments of peace in between all the chaos which is there.
Wow. So, which is the recent book you are reading and why?
So there are a couple of things on the spiritual side, I would say. One is Bhagavad Gita. So, the kind of learnings that Bhagavad Gita has, whether you talk about professional life or personal life or dealing in different situations, I have never seen any other book that can meet that level. So I've been personally reading Bhagavad Gita for last 4 years, and I would say, it's really outstanding.
That's very beautiful. So, have you heard about Ritesh Nanda, who does teachings from Bhagavad Gita, Krishna's life for the corporate world?
I haven't thought about it, but maybe
You
sometime
should
down the
share his
line.
details.
Maybe when I
Connect
learn
with
the
him,
art,
invite him, and definitely, since in your intro I said that you are spiritual in nature, so the way that will bring that angle to your personal life, professional life, and for your team also.
I think that's a beautiful idea. So maybe
So
after,
he does corporate training sessions based on the teachings, values of Bhagavad Gita, then apna Lord Krishna's life,
Mhm.
Mahabharata. So I've watched his play also. He did on Krishna. So super play he organized in Mumbai at St. Andrews Auditorium, which is big auditorium.
Mhm.
Superb level.
Wow. So immediately after this session, let me go and find out more about him to see.
I'll share his LinkedIn profile link. Don't worry,
Absolutely do it.
and a number also.
Beautiful.
Okay. So my next question will be, what got you interested into spirituality and doing meditation, and how has it brought changes in your personal and professional life?
So, I got introduced to meditation almost like 3 years back. Prior to that, it was just work, work, and work. Still, even like last 3 years, despite trying to meditate every day, I don't get to do it like daily. But whenever I do, I mean, it makes that huge difference. So spiritually, I would say, I mean, it has toned me down as a person. It has made me much more patient and less reactive. So especially, I would say when I'm dealing with the clients or taking tough decisions, I've seen that it has actually helped me in staying centered. That kind of helps me in seeing things like more clearly while dealing with people. So, I mean, I'm not like one of the most disciplined meditator, but I can feel its impact in both my personal as well as like professional life.
Wow. So what hobby or passions do you pursue when you're not at work, or someone you have uh, carried on from your college days and still doing?
So, as a person, I prefer like simple things. For me, it's like reading, working out, or I mean, spending time with my family. So whether it's like playing with my younger one or chatting with my older one or just catching up with my wife, I say, I mean, I really cherish those moments. As a person, I also love traveling, whether it's in India or in abroad. So, I mean, usually there isn't a month in which I'm not traveling for like 2, 3 days, 4 days, or a week. So it can be a business trip or it can be a personal trip. So I mean, I would say that as a person, I do not have like any extreme hobbies. It's just a mix of learning, fitness, and the family time.
Wow. So you have led me to my next question. You have traveled extensively, as you said, for personal and professional. So which is the most memorable place you have visited from India first and from abroad, and why?
Wow, that's a beautiful question again. So India, I would say, I mean, without any doubts, it's Andamans. So, I mean, people dream of traveling to London, New York, but for me, Andamans, I mean, Andamans is something else.
Yeah.
So it's like stepping into a paradise, the pristine beaches, the crystal clear water, and just like pure peace. It's one of those places wherein I can personally sit by the beach, I can listen to the waves, and
Yeah.
just forget about the rest of the world. So it's like
Yeah.
absolutely stunning for me. And every year, I mean, since the time that I've visited Andamans, I want to go there on a yearly basis and at least spend like 10, 15 days there. Abroad, when I would speak about, I mean, it's like the highways of Scotland. So, I mean, it was back almost like 10 years back that I went there for a business trip, and my wife also accompanied over there. So, we were in London for almost a week. From there, we went over to Scotland and we hired a car. And then, I mean, the highways over there, I mean, they're just like mind blowing. So, that is something that I can again do over and over again. So last year, I think I also went to Kashmir, and from Srinagar, I went all the way to Kargil. So the moment I was sitting in the car and driving from Kashmir to Kargil, it immediately took me back to like 10 years back when I was in Scotland and enjoying that ride of mine.
Wow. So I'll reserve my question for the rapid fire round. Okay. Can you share a fun or quirky fact about yourself that not many people know about?
Oh my God, that's a good question. And something like, so, I have this weird habit of randomly humming the old songs while I'm working. And most of the time, I don't realize that I'm doing it. So, my team has like pointed it out so many times, and now it has more or less become like an inside joke in my office. I also have this soft corner for gifted handwritten notes and drawings. So, my
Hmm.
desk is like always full of sticky notes. I
Wow.
mean, I have like two corners also by my desk, and they're full of all these sticky notes. So I would say, I mean, I find them like much more significant compared to like
Yeah,
thousands of pictures which are there in my mobile.
very true. Same, same. It goes with me also. Handwritten notes.
The
Yeah.
personalized messages, the handwritten notes, I mean, wherein you were just sharing your heart out to the other person. It's just like leaves that impression forever.
Wow. Okay. So Siddharth, suppose you have 1 week away from work, away from traveling, away from the gadgets. What would you like to do in that 1 week?
Every morning I would not prefer to get up before like 8 or 9 in the morning. Like my routine calls or my route. It's like I get up like 6:30 in the morning, then rush to gym. So for me, getting up at like 8 or 9 in the morning will be like one of the best things. Then I would prefer to start with a good workout, followed by a leisure breakfast, not even looking at my mobile phone to see if there is like any messages or phone calls. Then spending some time either in the park, looking at the trees or the nature, or maybe worshipping God for puja or something like that. Then I would prefer having like a relaxed lunch or maybe a nap. Then in the evening, I would say, I mean, enough of rest that I've already done throughout the day. I prefer, I mean, doing some fun or just enjoying like a day without emails or deadlines. Or, I would say, I mean, in a week, I would really love my kids and my wife to be around so that we can just chit chat, we can share all the different experiences. Uh, we can see different places, we can talk to different people. For me, I mean, one of the most important things that I've seen while I'm traveling with my kids and all is, I mean, no classroom can ever give such kind of a training that these experiences share. So, I mean, if my family and kids are around, I really would want to leave those moments with them that they can cherish with themselves for the life ahead.
So my last two questions will be a reflective one. What legacy would you like to leave behind, Siddharth?
Wow, that's a beautiful question. So, I mean, it's going to be training, education, uh, rather than wealth and all. So, for me, I would say, I mean, if I divide this question into different parts, I would say for me, I really want to be a person who actually continues contributing to the society. And I would just want that people know me for the good reasons or the deeds. I mean, like I'm constantly engaged on the charitable part or the religious part. So that is something that I really want to leave behind rather than, I mean, I would say, I mean, wealth or something like that, or people remembering me for wrong reasons.
Wow. So my last one again is a googly one. Describe Siddharth in one line.
So, I would say, I mean, he's a person who likes to challenge himself to new limits, who loves setting deadlines for himself and likes to hum random songs while at it.
Wow. So let's go to next round and have some fun. The rapid fire round. One skill you have mastered over the years.
I would say communication,
Wow. Your go-to comfort food.
Indian. Nothing beats
Favorite.
that for me.
Wow. Favorite cuisine from your different travels in India.
Um, Mediterranean.
Which one? Would like to know.
You want to know? I mean,
From India, India. My
actually,
first
you're
is
talking about India. So I
from
would say
India.
it's more of South Indian, the lemon rice. I mean, especially when
Wow.
you're there in South India, I mean, places like Tamil Nadu, Cochin, the
Mhm.
kind of flavor and the kind of flavor it shares, and they
Yeah,
serve you
yeah,
on like a banana leaf or something
yeah,
like that. It's like really feels interesting.
yeah. I also had a lemon rice. Mm, yeah. So by the way, I'm also a foodie.
Trust me on that part. I mean, for me, I have lost like 15 kgs in last 1 year. Prior to that, I was like complete foodie. So there wasn't a time that I never used to have like more than how much my stomach allowed.
Okay. Now, favorite cuisine from your international travels.
So it's more of Mediterranean. I mean, I cannot name like one dish. It's just like a mix. So it depends, I mean, which mood I am into and where I'm traveling. So just want to keep on trying like different stuff over there.
Wow. Okay. Your favorite song?
Kal ho na ho.
Wow. Best piece of advice ever received?
Best piece of advice ever received is to live in present
Wow, beautiful.
rather than just thinking
Favorite,
about future.
your favorite color?
Black.
You're an early riser or night owl?
I was a night owl, but now I'm an early riser. So I mean, getting up like 6 in the morning.
Beautiful. A country on your travel bucket list for 2025 to visit?
Switzerland.
Wow.
That's also the destination that me and my wife, we wanted to travel on our honeymoon. We have planned for it over like 10, 15 times, but I have not been able to visit it till now.
Okay, do that. Okay. Uh, tea or coffee?
Tea. As many tea as possible throughout the day.
But you're over here. So let's raise it.
Yeah, yeah.
So you did well. So here's your work, which will be autographed with a note. So treasure that. So friends, it was a lovely conversation having with Siddhartha Havelia, who from corporate world, he's gone to bookkeeping, taxation for serving international clients. So keeping his relationship of dealing with international clients, he has maintained it. And so anybody who wants to venture into international bookkeeping and taxation, this is episode how Siddharth has brought changes from his wife, uh, bringing spirituality for balancing and keeping him grounded. So we wish him best. He continues in that journey, a lot more experiences, and uh, he is a family person, likes to spend time with his family, with his wife, with his kid, with his parents. So that is a beautiful thing, okay, how he keeps everyone together. And he was a foodie, but we wish him to come back to his food so I can then also connect with him and enjoy
Absolutely.
conversations. So, friends, there are many more things we have covered during this conversation. So, like that, there are 350 plus guest speakers featured. Watch, get inspired, know about the topic, about the person, about how they have gone through in their journey and come up and going deep. So, I asked him a question about legacy. So, he had shared a lot of insight about, yeah, he has not done like 20 years, but I know in 20 years, there are a lot of things he has done. So that was being important why I asked him about the legacy part. So he starts planning and leaving behind his company and safe for succession planning, all those things. So if you want to be featured like Siddharth, visit our company page, the Emerging India Forum on LinkedIn or website, fill in the form or DM, our team will happily invite you to have coffee conversations. So take care. Bye.
Thank you so much, Amir. It was indeed a pleasure to be on your show.
Thank you.